Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty big updates to go over about Pokemon Legends ZA. We also have some new Legends ZA rumors to take a look at, and also, as well as that, some new Nintendo Switch 2 patents have also dropped. So plenty of things to break down today. If you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. It's trying to hit 500 likes, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's take a look at these new Legends ZA updates. They're very, very exciting updates, and also something that's just kind of gone under the radar. It was a post from Lu2 saying, "We've translated a new statement from Pokemon Legends ZA director Haruka Toshigi, claiming that the game was in its final fine-tuning phase at the beginning of 2025. So, we're already past like the beginning of 2025. You know, we're nearly a quarter of the way through, or we're nearly a third of the way through, should I say. So at the beginning of 2025, this Pokemon Legends ZA game was in the fine-tuning phases, which also kind of goes hand in hand with what the Terra Leaker said. They'd played it like last August, and the game was basically done. There was just like the side quests and stuff that weren't really working, but that was all the way back in last August. So now that's all been fixed, and the game is in its final sort of fine-tuning, tweaking sort of situation, even though the game is coming out late 2025. So this is the actual post here. So it says Famitsu, I don't know how to pronounce this, like Dengeki or Denjiki 2024 awards. So we're very grateful and honored to receive this. Being awarded even before we ever published gameplay videos showed us the high expectations of the main series Pokemon games. So we, the Pokemon Legends ZA dev team, have been putting in daily effort to deliver the new game. The release is just around the corner. Please wait a little longer." And then it goes on to say, Pokemon Legends games are filled with new attempts by Game Freak, as was the case prior, to bring new surprises for players to experience. Pokemon Legends ZA will mega revolve, incorporating new battle mechanics and plenty of gameplay elements unique to urban environments. It's in the final fine-tuning phase now. Look forward to a new adventure in Lumiose City. And again, thank you so much. So the fact that the game is basically done and we've got all of this time to wait until it comes out. Like, we don't know the actual release date for Pokemon Legends ZA. They just said late 2025. Again, some people think it's going to be what they always drop games in, being November. Some people think it might be a little bit earlier than that, like September, October time, because of the words that they sort of used in the Japanese trailer. We've also got this post as well from Roy saying, "That's actually phenomenal news. I'm assuming this means that these last couple of months will be dedicated to patching glitches and smoothing things out and graphical adjustments, which is so good to see and hear. The trailer 2 is going to be great." So yeah, it is very, very exciting, the fact that, I mean, a lot of you are probably like, well, why is the game not coming out earlier if it was already basically done? And that is simply just because they are fine-tuning things, they are sorting out glitches, and basically meaning that what happened in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet doesn't happen in Pokemon Legends ZA, because it was a little bit unfortunate having all of those just problems in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and they don't want a repeat of that. So that's why obviously they're fine tuning in and stuff. But either way, it's very good to know that the game is basically done, and all the trailers that come out now are just going to get bigger and better because they're just going to show off more of this completed game. So this was actually because Pokemon Legends ZA has won the most anticipated game at the Famitsu Game Awards 2024. So this was from the speech of this sort of like victory. So this was posted by Nintendo Soup saying, Famitsu has announced the winners of the 2024 Famitsu or Denjeki Game Awards. This round's awards were nominated by Final Fantasy Rebirth, with the game and development team snagging 7 out of 17 awards. Nintendo, on the other hand, managed to grab 2 awards. Pokemon Legends ZA for most anticipated game, and Emio the Smiling Man for best adventure. So you can check out all the winners below, but as you can see, most anticipated game award of 2024, 2025, whatever, is Pokemon Legends ZA. So they won this award, and then they basically said, yeah, the game's basically done. You know, now we're just fine-tuning it and stuff like that. So very, very exciting times. Obviously very good that this game has already won this award, and it is a very anticipated game, especially after that trailer as well, because we've never played a Pokemon game like this with main series real-time battling. So it's going to be very interesting, very exciting. Maybe it's not your cup of tea, but all I'm going to say is give it a chance. Maybe you'll learn to absolutely love this. And now we know that whenever we get a new Legends game, there's going to be something that we are completely just unaware of, that we are not expecting. You know, we got this Legends Arceus game where it was set in the past, and we got random starters and alpha Pokemon and stuff. We've got Pokemon Legends ZA where it's in one singular city, but there's real-time battling. So the next Legends game is just going to be even crazier. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on that, about the whole game already being done and then just like fine-tuning it and stuff like that. Would love to know what you guys have to say about that. Next up, though, we also have this that I wanted to go over, a really, really good spot by Hummingbird Violet over on the r/LegendsZA Reddit page, saying, I know people have gravitated toward Jet being Colress's relative because there are quite a few similarities between Colress and Jet, but they've made a very, very good point that we could actually be looking at a Glacier relative in Jet. So, but I don't know. She looks a lot like Hoenn Elite Four member Glacier to me, which makes me think of a Mega Evolution that needs to appear in Pokemon Legends ZA. And this isn't the first sort of like mini hint to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Obviously, it's another region in Hoenn where we can Mega Evolve Pokemon, just like we can in Kalos, just like we can in Alola. But not only that, we also have now a potential relative being Glacier related to Jet here. And I mean, the resemblance is kind of uncanny. They look very, very, very similar. Like, they've got the exact same facial structure, the eyes look exactly the same. I would be very surprised if these were not related. I think they are looking more related than Colress, in my opinion, especially with like even the stances and stuff. Like, this was taken from Pokemon Masters, fair enough, but even the way that they're like standing, like they're literally the same, not the same person, but you can clearly see like a massive resemblance between these characters. So yeah, we've got the Mega Evolutions from Auras, we've got Jet and Glacier potentially being related, we have the Team Magma and Team Aqua sort of things on the side of the end of the trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA where they showed the Prism Tower sort of Pokeball thing. There's a lot of Auras references in this game, even though the regions don't really have a lot in common before the Mega Evolution in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now there's like loads of stuff, especially with AZ going and something about like the Eternal Floette like planting the tree or whatever. We covered it in a recent video, but now there's like loads and loads of hints between Auras and I guess Kalos. And then obviously Glacier having the Mega Glalie, it could be Jet being another Ice-type trainer having a Mega Frostlass. So I think a Frostlass would be a really cool Pokemon to get a Mega Evolution as well. People also agreeing as well, like, yeah, I can definitely see it. It's funny since I never even considered Glacier, plus I need Mega Frostlass to be a thing. I didn't realize I need Mega Frostlass in my life until now. So yeah, I mean, I'm expecting us to battle Jet at some point. So if she has a Mega Frostlass, that would be really, really cool. But yeah, I definitely think there's an uncanny resemblance here between these characters. What are your thoughts, though? Do you think these two do look alike, or do you think it's just a massive coincidence? Next up, we have another Nintendo Switch 2 patent to go over. We have Game Rant here tweeting out saying plans for a GameCube controller for the Nintendo Switch 2 have potentially leaked, suggesting multiple projects could be in the works for the console. This is big news because GameCube games being ported or remastered for the Nintendo Switch 2 and being able to play those games with a GameCube controller, like, that is awesome, man. I would absolutely love that to be the situation. So Nintendo Switch 2's leaked GameCube controller could open a massive floodgate. So it says, although the Nintendo Switch 2 has officially been revealed, the upcoming console is still shrouded in mystery regarding many of its features and games. While fans can expect to learn more about the Nintendo Switch 2 during the April 2nd Nintendo Direct, some details about the console have leaked, revealing Nintendo's potential plans for the system. According to a recent FCC filing, the company may be planning to release a new version of the classic GameCube controller specifically for the Nintendo Switch 2, and the implications of such a release could be massive. So despite being nearly 25 years old, the GameCube still has one of the most popular controllers in all of gaming. Nintendo has re-released the GameCube controller in the past, with the peripheral being compatible with the Wii, the Wii U, and the Nintendo Switch, in addition to its original console. It's largely due to its popularity among Super Smash Bros. Players. This new FCC filing doesn't explicitly confirm that Nintendo is planning to release a new GameCube controller, but the details within the listing make it seem more than likely. So a GameCube controller design for the Switch 2 could imply some exciting possibilities. So, one of the most anticipated or requested features for Nintendo Switch Online is the addition of GameCube games, to go along with the other classic Nintendo systems that have their libraries available via the service. With the Nintendo 64 games being available in the expansion pack tier containing most of the console's major hits, moving on to the GameCube with the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2 would be a great way to bring a new wave of exciting titles to the service. It could even be the perfect way to appease fans waiting for games like Zelda The Wind Waker and Twilight Princess remasters on the console, giving them the next best thing in access to the original versions. And these have been rumored a lot. Like, I can't remember how many directs that we've kind of watched where people have been expecting Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. It's been heavily rumored to be coming back to the Nintendo Switch. What makes an even stronger case for GameCube games coming to Nintendo Switch Online on the Switch 2 is that this FCC filing appears to confirm that the controller will use wireless Bluetooth technology. Past re-releases of the GameCube controller have been wired, and the peripheral has yet to receive an official Bluetooth-compatible variant. Other classic Nintendo consoles with NSO libraries, such as the NES and the SNES and Nintendo 64, have all received special Bluetooth controllers designed after their original models for the NSO subscribers to purchase, so this FCC filing may hint at a similar route for the GameCube. And then a new Super Smash Bros. Game could be in development for the Switch 2, which again, could be revealed in April, which we are very, very close to. A major reason why the GameCube controller has persisted for so long has been its continued use within the Super Smash Bros. Community. With many players finding the GameCube controller ideal for a game like Super Smash Bros. Melee, Nintendo has re-released it along with an adapter peripheral to coincide with the releases of Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch, making both previous home consoles compatible with the controller. It's unclear if the Nintendo Switch 2 will be compatible with the same adapter like the GameCube controller used for the Switch, so this wireless version could be a way to circumvent the need for the adapter. The release of a new GameCube controller that is compatible with the Nintendo Switch 2 could herald a new entry in the Super Smash Bros. Series, with the last entry, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, released back in 2018, which is wild. That game does not feel like it's 7 years old. It's been nearly 7 years since a new Smash game has hit the scene. Although an enhanced version of Ultimate could be the title released on the Switch 2, Nintendo may want to leverage its third best-selling Switch game of all time and release a new brand entry in the franchise that is compatible with this new GameCube controller. So very exciting times, really. I mean, dude, GameCube is probably my favorite console of all time, you know, from Pokémon Colosseum to Wind Waker to Mario Kart Double Dash. Like, the games are endless, like how good the GameCube was. So getting a GameCube controller that's wireless for the Switch 2, and then getting GameCube games remastered or ported onto the Switch 2 is like, bro, just give me that, man. I can't wait to see if this is true. But let me know your thoughts on it. Do you think we're going to be seeing a ton of GameCube games on the Switch 2? My fingers are crossed for Wind Waker and Colosseum. But let me know your thoughts on this situation. And then finishing things off for today's video, we have a new rumor to go over regarding Pokemon Legends ZA. This was posted on Monday. It's titled Information with a little smiley face, posted by Anonymous. Again, was on 4chan. Take it with a grain of salt as always. And it starts things off by saying June trailer. So skipping past the April Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, we're actually getting the next trailer in June, which isn't too bad, to be fair, because we're probably going to get a trailer in August, being that we usually get presents in August. So we'd get one in February, one in June, one in August, and then maybe the game comes out in like September or October. Wouldn't be too bad. It says there's going to be 2 new Mega Evolutions revealed. So those new Mega Evolutions revealed in this June trailer would be Mega Victory Bell, which again has been heavily rumored at now, especially with what Riddler Q has said and with what Centro Leaks has said. And then they also say Mega Roserade as well. Which I would absolutely love to see. I'm a massive fan of Roserade. I think Roserade was also one of the options as well that Centro Leaks posted. It was like 7 Pokemon on that list, and 2 of them were going to get Mega Evolutions. One of them very likely to be Victory Bell. So the other one potentially could be Roserade. Who knows? Obviously, there's a lot of Roserade sort of I guess, interpretations around the city that we've seen in the trailers, so you never know. It says Sycamore is shown. He looks 10 years older. I mean, that's fair enough. I mean, the game is probably going to take place about 10 years in the future, and he's still the professor, which again doesn't surprise me. Like, he's what, mid-30s in Pokemon X and Y, so he's probably gonna be like mid-40s in Legends EA. And then it says there's going to be a scene that shows him surrounded by the Kalos starters, probably gives you one. So that would be a cool way. Again, we know that Sycamore's lab is after Wild Zone 1. We don't know if Sycamore's going to be in that lab, but it just makes sense that we get through Wild Zone 1, and then we get one of the starter Pokemon from Sycamore's lab, and then we can Mega Evolve one of them or something like that. That's just, for me, the most likely outcome. And then it goes on to say there's more Wild Zone shown with a new Pokemon form of Staryu in the background. So we're going to get a Staryu form in Pokemon Legends ZA. A lot of Kanto kind of pandering that we've had so far with like rumors and everything, but I wouldn't mind a new Staryu form. I quite like Starmie as a Pokemon. And then it says Kalem and Serena return as two of the area bosses. So I guess they'd be like mini gym leaders. Again, I'm expecting to see like difficult fights in each area. There's like 5 areas in the city. Well, that's what it looks like it's cut up to. And then you've got Prison Tower in the middle. So maybe there's like Kalem in Area 1, and then there's Serena in Area 2, and then maybe we have somebody else in Area 3. And then it goes on to say, shows more real-time battling sequences, which is, yeah, that's going to be what they show in the next trailer for sure. Says more returning Pokemon, including the elemental monkeys. If they show these, then that means every single Pokemon is confirmed to be on the Nintendo Switch before we move on to the Nintendo Switch 2, because Patrat and Watchog and Furfrou are all revealed to be in Pokemon Legends ZA already. It's just the elemental monkeys now that are not available on the Switch console, only in Pokemon Home. And then it says shows day and night cycles, which I'd expect to see in this game. I'm kind of assuming it's going to be similar to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, where it's literally just like the day and the night cycles aren't 24 hours, but there's like 24 hours in the game, if that makes sense. And then it says that's all for now. So yeah, I mean, it's not a crazy fake rumor. I mean, I could definitely get behind a lot of these kind of points. I hope we get a trailer before June, but I wouldn't be surprised. But if the game is nearly done, according to this, maybe we are just going to get more trailers sooner rather than later. Who knows? Let me know your thoughts on this rumor, though. Do you think it is true or not? Would love to hear what you guys have to say, and everything else that we've covered as well, with the Nintendo Switch 2 GameCube controller pattern, and then also the Glacier and Jet sort of resemblance, and then also what are your thoughts on the game basically already being finished. But thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, peace.